What's up, everybody? Welcome to another stream. Yeah, long live Mark Snow, the creator of... More like I should say rest in peace. Did I just say long live? He's dead. He passed away. Mark Snow passed away. Rest in peace. Who the fuck was Mark Snow? Why, the creator of the X-Files. I'm sure a lot of you were fans of that show. I was a fan of that show. Big fan. It was part of my... It shouldn't have been part of my childhood, but it was part of my childhood. Part of my teenhood and adulthood as well. I remember about, say, 7 years ago, I kind of started watching all the seasons. I skipped some episodes because I remembered them or I didn't like them. Not everything the X-Files did was great. Some episodes were like, what the fuck is this, man? Really? Really? But yeah, the creator of the X-Files is dead. Passed away at 70-something years. 78 years old, I believe. So, you will be remembered, never forgotten. Yeah, great show. One of the most influential sci-fi, alien, supernatural shows of all time. If not the most influential, I'd like to believe it is the most influential alien show of all time, you know. Always looking forward to those episodes where the UFOs will appear. Because the majority of the episodes of every season will be like monsters and creatures and supernatural stuff, and come on, we all wanted to see the Martians, the aliens from outer space, you know. Those were the fucking shit, man. Anyway, so what's up, guys? It was part of your life. Your mom watched that show religiously. That was great. I remember there were some attempts for some last seasons, like long after the show ended, because a lot of people don't know this, but the show only lasted for like, what was it, like 10 seasons? Throughout the 90s and early 2000s, and then it died for a long time, and then it came back. And the new seasons, the last seasons, they weren't that great, to be honest. But they were still entertaining, you know. I watched through the whole thing till the end. The relationship developed between Mulder and Scully. Yeah, great show. So the creator died. He died a couple of days ago. Actually, he died on 4th of July, a couple of days ago. USA's Independence Day. Imagine dying on that day. Well, it's not as worse, it's not as bad as my uncle. Well, obviously my mom, you know, it was her brother, and they had a relationship, of course, but me and my brother and my sister, you know, we never really had a relationship with him. He lived kind of estranged from the family with his wife and kids, you know. So, but he died on Father's Day. If you think Mark Snow dying on 4th of July... No, I got it much worse. My uncle died on Father's Day. Imagine his kids. Well, he only has 2 kids left. The eldest died too. So imagine his 2 kids, you know, celebrating Father's Day the same day their father died. That's awful. My grandmother, on my father's side, almost. She died on October 3rd. October 3rd, man. My father's birthday is October 4. Imagine. And she died like at 11 p.m. 1 more hour and she would have died on his birthday. What the fuck? There's something wrong. There's like a curse in my family, man. Oh, that was many, many years ago. Tested, but thanks. Yeah, my grandma died like, I think it's gonna be the 10th anniversary? No, 9th anniversary. And my uncle died like 12 years ago. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it was terrible luck. This is the Murphy family, man. We are the Murphy family. Anyway, so let's begin with your goddamn questions, man. I'm pumped. Do you think in English or Spanish? Good question. When you're bilingual, you think in both languages all the time. And it's hard. Sometimes you forget words in both languages. Whenever I forget words in Spanish, well, my family and friends have gotten used to it, so no problem. But I imagine that whenever I forget a word in Spanish, because I think in English sometimes, some people look at me like, really? You forgot the word in Spanish? You get the fuck, you know? And it's true. Ask anybody who's bilingual, any languages, you know, and they're used to, especially the ones who talk often in both languages. Like, for example, someone may know another language but barely speak it. Like, oh, I know people who know French, but they never talk French. You know, they only know how to talk French and understand French, but they don't talk French often, you know, or rarely. Those people still think in their native language. But me, I've been speaking English and interacting in English for a long time. So I'm used to thinking in both languages. So it's... It may seem like I'm bragging, but no, not really. Like I'm being like, oh, I forget things in Spanish. I'm used to thinking in English. Excuse me. No, it's true. You know, you do think in both languages and you forget words of each. Like often I forget words in English and I'm always asking you guys, like, how do you say this in English, you know? But it also happens the other way around. My sister lives in England and whenever she comes home for Christmas, same. She forgets some words in Spanish, like she can't remember simple words. It not only depends on the context, you know, it's just you're used to thinking in both languages. You know, I write all the time. I've written books in English, but I live stream a few times a week in English. I talk to you guys in English, and I write all of my scripts for my videos in English. So actually, I think I think more in English than in Spanish. No, probably not. But I do talk in Spanish a lot with my family, so yeah. I'm used to thinking in both languages. Thoughts on the Stop Killing Games initiative movement? I was waiting for today to ask you guys about that, so I don't know much about it. Apparently it was some kind of European movement, right? It was like in Europe, right? To stop like killing games in Europe because they weren't localizing them or something. Like, I don't know, I barely know anything about it. If you guys want to talk about it or explain it to me, because I forgot to look into it. It seemed like really important though. You don't live in America, but you speak English a lot. Where are you from? Europe? Africa? Do I have any African viewers? I haven't seen my demographics. When you're a YouTuber, you can see your demographics on your channel. Go to the studio, you know, and there's a section, you know, for it. I haven't checked them in a long time, like in a year, probably more, you know. But I don't remember ever seeing viewers from Africa, like South Africa. They speak English, right? Fuck. Anyway. There wasn't a Q&A last week. I took a break. You're looking for a JRPG with a dual combat system, regular combat and mechs. Xenoblade Chronicles X left an itch that is hard to scratch. You're probably gonna like the other Xeno games, you know, Xenogears, Xenosaga Trilogy, highly recommended, you know. Go for those. If not, you can get into the Trails of Cold Steel saga. Though you'll get to a point where you're not gonna understand certain things because you need to start with Trails in the Sky. But Trails in the Sky, the trilogy does not have mech battles. You do fight against mechs, but you don't play as mechs. But in the Cold Steel saga, which are 5 games, you do have battles on top of mechs, but they aren't action RPGs, you know. All of the games that I just recommended to you are turn-based. Anyway, so that's my answer. There aren't a lot of action RPGs where you have regular combat and then mech combat. Action RPGs. There's a lot of turn-based and strategy, but not action, you know. So the Stop Killing Games movement failed in the US. so they had to appeal to Europe. It's a Europe initiative to try to force developers into offering players the ability to keep playing games with a forced online component. Oh, and the people wanna stop that? So people, I'm not sure I get it, like opening up the option for player-run own servers after developers stop offering support. It's a movement that will start a conversation with European governments to hopefully give us gamers more consumer protection, specifically to games that were art sunlit by developers. Okay. I'm not sure I get it though. I thought it was gonna be some movement against censorship, because that would be fucking great. Because I did see that in Europe it got over 1 million signatures, right? That's all I saw. I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, a movement that they got 1 million signatures and now the government needs to take action. I read that. But I wasn't sure, like, what the movement was about. Oh man, so, okay, whatever. I got excited. I was like, it's a movement against censorship? Oh, but it's not, so I don't give a shit. Great. I'm glad it succeeded in Europe. Is there any history of ancient civilizations you like learning about or reading? Not anymore. I used to, you know, I used to read a lot about, many years ago. About Vikings and about Aztecs and Mayans, you know. Well, I didn't really read a lot, but I read something about the entirety of Mesopotamia. Is that how you call it in English? I don't know if you call it that in English. But, yeah. So I'm not really that into ancient civilizations, but it's really interesting. Thank you guys for welcoming me back. Metal Max? Do you think the future of gaming will be PC only? Yeah, we talked about this in the previous Q&A. Or was it like 2 or 3 Q&As ago? I don't remember, but we talked about that recently on how I think the console market is not going to die anytime soon, but I suspect consoles are no longer going to be physical. They're gonna be just applications or softwares you're going to download. Like maybe the PlayStation 6 or 7 is gonna be no physical console. It's just the software you're gonna have to download on your PC, which is gonna be bullshit, right? But that's how I see the future. So in reality, yeah, I think the future of gaming will be PC only, but I don't know. It's hard to tell, you know. It's hard to tell what's gonna happen. I don't think a company like Nintendo will give up consoles. I do see PlayStation, and especially Microsoft, doing that, abandoning consoles. But Nintendo, I doubt Nintendo will abandon consoles anytime soon, you know. So maybe the future of gaming will be PC only, but like in 10 or 12 years or more. Do you care much for Tolkien? Not really, you know. Back in, I did watch the movies. I read one of the books. I watched the first Hobbit movie and I liked it, but for some reason I wasn't interested in watching the other 2 movies on the Hobbit, you know. So I'm not really a big fan of Tolkien. I like some games, you know, the Third Age on the PlayStation 2, but so yeah, Tolkien is alright. He's the father of medieval fantasy, you know, but I have a lot of respect for Tolkien, but I'm not really a big fan. I don't know that much about him. So if Stop Killing Games succeeds, it may have a ripple effect not only in Europe, but for all gamers all over the world. The EU Parliament think Candy Crush is a video game. Stop Killing Games won't do anything in Europe. Oh. So let me get this straight. People don't want forced online content on their games. Did I get it right? Is that the gist of it? This is one of the best fucking soundtracks of all time. Top 10 best video game soundtracks. The Shin Megami Tensei 4 duology, both 4 and Apocalypse. Top tier soundtracks, the best SMT soundtracks ever. Goddamn. They want the option to keep playing after developers stop support. It's more about licensing and not owning a digital product. Oh, that I care about, that last bit. Like the option to keep playing after developers stop supporting, like I don't give a shit about that. I'm sorry, I'm glad it got over 1 million signatures. That's great, more power to them, you know, but I don't play online, man, I don't give a shit. But not owning a digital product and really owning a digital product, okay, that I'm in favor of. So it's basically about a movement up in favor of video game preservation and ownership, right? Did I get it right this time? If that's, then they have my full support. Yes, okay, so there you go. Then I support this movement. I hope we can get a movement one day against censorship. Best JRPG where you can be evil. Answering that question will spoil games. You know, if I mention a game, then people are gonna be like, what? You're a bad guy in this game? So it's a spoiler. There are some though, but... That's a terrible example, Testy. Terrible. You used the worst fucking company in the world to set up an example. What? At first, a cheap computer back in the 70s and 80s was like $1,200 plus, while a console like the Atari 2600 and other at the time were $100 to $300. Today we have phones and cheap computers. Okay, so yeah, you have a point. So if gaming will move entirely to PC, then it's gonna be very expensive, right? You have a point. If you stop playing an RPG halfway through, not because you don't enjoy it, but for other reasons, and you come back to it years later, will you continue where you left off, or will you start all over again? Halfway through, I continue where I left off. Sure, I'm gonna have to relearn the gameplay mechanics and try to remember the story as I advance. I've done that, you know. Let me think of an example, but I have done that before. But halfway through, you mentioned halfway through, right? So that makes sense. I'm not gonna start the game from the beginning, but if I only played it for like a bunch of hours, you know, and I abandon it and then come back many years later, believe it or not, sometimes I still go back to it and don't restart it. But there have been occasions where I rather restart it. Like Dragon Star Varnier. So I did a review of that game, Dragon Star Varnier. That's a game that I played the first 5 hours. 5 hours. That was like in 2019 or 2020, I don't remember. Many years ago. And I abandoned the game. And then, like a few months ago, I picked it up again. I didn't restart the game. I just continued where I left off. And yeah, I had to relearn the battle mechanics. I got my ass kicked. It was hard to go back to it after so many years of having abandoned it. But I don't know, for some reason I didn't regret it. It's just 5 or 6 hours onward. I'm too lazy to restart the whole game. But there's been games that I only played for like 2 hours. Those I usually just restart. I'm like, there's no point. Let me just restart the game from the beginning, you know. But in most games, you know, I don't restart them. I just continue where I left off, even if it has been many years. But if it's been like a fucking decade or something or more, you know, I think I will restart the game. What have I been playing recently? I've been playing Bear Week Saga at long last. That was a big request back in the day. Every time I brought the game Tearing Saga or anything from Shouso Kaga on, there was always somebody in the chat asking me, have you played Bear Week Saga? And I kept putting the game on hold over and over throughout the years, you know, and now I regret it. I'm having a blast. There's, as always, there's some good and bad things about it. I'm 24 hours into it, and I think I'm halfway through. It seems like it's gonna be a really long fucking game. Unbelievable, you know, but I'll probably review it. Probably dedicate an entire video review to it, or reviewing a top 10 or something, you know. I'll review the game. It's very worth reviewing, but that's what I've been playing lately. I'm also playing Luminous Arc 2. Oh, this is tied to the question from before, you know. That's a game that I played for like 3 hours. Or maybe no more. That's a game that I put like 5 hours into it 12 years ago, and I abandoned it because I hit a difficulty spike, and I was too lazy to grind, and I abandoned the game. So now I restarted the game, Luminous Arc 2 on the Nintendo DS, and I'm like 4 hours into it. 3-4 hours into it. You know, so... what a coincidence. That's what I've been playing, man. What have you guys been playing? Hey, I care. I care. Sometimes someone says, I've been playing this fucking game, and I'm like, what's that? That sounds interesting. How well will a movement against video game censorship do, realistically? I think very well. I think there's millions of people extremely pissed off, man. In fact, I'm surprised no one started a movement against censorship. Super surprised. I think it will greatly succeed and exceed everyone's expectations, you know. Where is Grow Lancer 1 translation? I have no idea. I've been waiting for that for many, many years, just like you, man. I want to see that happen so bad. What's a game you've been really wanting but haven't been able to get a physical copy yet due to whatever reason? Well, almost anything from working designs. Any console, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, you know. Like, I don't have Vanguard Bandits in my collection. I don't have Ark the Lad collection. I don't have anything from the Sega Saturn or Sega CD, you know. Like, I don't like that company, Working Designs, you know. The localization, you know how I feel, but the games are awesome, you know, and I would like to own them in my collection, but they're just too fucking expensive, man, and rare. So I threw in the towel a long time ago. I was like, fuck it, I'm never gonna own this game. The last time I saw Vanguard Bandits and I held it in my hands, complete in box, was like $100 already. And I was like, fuck that, you know, I'm not paying that for this game, so, no. Yeah, Berwick Saga and Luminous Arc are strategy RPGs. In fact, I played Luminous Arc, the entire trilogy, on Twitch last week, and a couple of days ago I played the second game, Luminous Arc 2, on the Nintendo DS on Twitch. You will find a link to my Twitch channel in the description. That's where I play games live nowadays. I don't do that on YouTube anymore, as you may have noticed. So you've been playing Resident Evil 0, that's an awesome game. Tekken 8? Nah. Rogue Trader? Never heard about it. Warhammer? Oh, okay. I know nothing about Warhammer. But I've seen a lot of memes about it, like it's extremely censored and politicized. Patapon. Okay. I know that game. I put a lot of hours into Patapon on the PSP a long time ago. Great game. It's really hard, though. Megaton Musashi. That's the mech action game, right? With mechs, with robots. Yeah, I know that game. People have recommended that game to me before. Motor Town. Oh, Asim. Okay. Never heard about it either. Lies of P. I think it's a Souls-like, so... Would you say Strange Journey is the hardest in the series? The thing about... I mean, it's a really hard game, yes, but the thing about... what makes Strange Journey hard is the frustration of having to go through these super long-ass labyrinths, man. That's what made me give up with the game. I never really hit. I mean, I did hit some spikes when I first played it, and but I grinded and I overcame them. But I didn't really make that much progress, you know. Probably 10 hours only until I gave up, and I gave up because I couldn't take it anymore. The labyrinths are too long, too frustrating, many random encounters, and I was like, fuck this, you know. It's just no. Get this out of my face, you know. It's a great game, but a dungeon crawling, large labyrinths, random encounters, the combination of those three things, you know, it's just, that's a turn off for me, personally. I will say, though, it is one of the hardest, but I think Digital Devil Saga is harder, and I think Nocturne is also harder. Is there a game with more recruitable characters than Radiata stories? Yeah, I think there's more games. JRPGs, I'm not sure. But there are some games where there were 400 characters, you know, but they're like strategy games, not necessarily RPGs. Who did you prefer in Luminous Arc 2? So I haven't finished the game. Right now I prefer Fatima and Dia. Althea is like I don't really give a shit about her. Fatima and Dia are the best thing about the game. Have you heard that the hybrid front on Sega strategy RPGs with post-apocalyptic setting has been translated to Mega? No, I didn't know that. Hybrid front, huh? Okay. Oh, wait a second. I did see that. I was browsing through some translations in Retro Game Talk. Hybrid front. Yeah, I checked it out yesterday and I saw the girl and I clicked because of it. I was like, who's that girl? Yeah, I saw this is a strategy game. This looks like very Advance Wars kind of game, so it's probably not gonna be up my alley, but I'll check it out if I get a chance. It's because of my Latino energy. So if I wasn't Latino, I wouldn't have any energy. I would be like, hey guys, what's up? I'm from Deep River, Ontario, here in Canada. It's kind of cold today. How are you guys? Like, no energy, right? People have no energy. No offense to Canadians, but people have barely any energy. I lived there for like a year and a half, and most people have no energy. They have like, I mean, they're cool people. I met a lot of cool people in there, but most of them were like pretty chill, pretty normal. You know, I guess it's. You're from Toronto? I did meet some passionate people in there. Have you tried Xbox Game Pass? No. Did you ever play the Front Mission games? Yes, and I have covered them. Sword of Hope. You beat that? Is Sword of Hope, isn't that on the Game Boy? There's two games, if I'm not mistaken. Is that am I thinking of the same game? I think there's two games on the Game Boy. Next on the list to play, maybe Third Birthday. Third Birthday for you or for me? I played the Third Birthday. That was many years ago. Because I wanted to talk about it in the video, and I did end up talking about it in the video, but that was it. You know, I didn't finish the game. I just put like maybe an hour and a half into it. You know what? It's a good. I think I'll put it this way. I think it's a good game, a good, decent third-person shooter. But I think it shouldn't have been Aya Brie as the protagonist. You know, it should have been its own fucking thing with its own characters. Shouldn't be related to Parasite Eve. And Tetsuya Nomura knew it. He was like, this is so different. I'm not gonna put Parasite Eve in the title. The game, officially, it's just called The Third Birthday. It isn't called The Parasite Eve, The Third Birthday. But it's Parasite Eve. You know, it's the same protagonist, same timeline, same universe, you know. So on one hand, I'm glad they didn't call it Parasite Eve, but at the same time, it's fucking Parasite Eve, and it doesn't feel like one. So, yeah. Parasite Eve is a train wreck. I made a video about that long ago, 7 years ago, called What the Hell Happened to Parasite Eve. Check it out if you get a chance. There is only one Parasite Eve, I couldn't agree more. Magna Carta 2, yeah, it's a good game. Not great, super great or anything, but it's good. It's a good game. Deus Ex, I know the Deus Ex games. They're first-person games, not really a fan. No, Brian. Any Western RPGs you like lately? No. I mean, maybe some indies, you know, but Western, as in Western, The Witcher, Dragon Age style, you know. You're gonna play the second Parasite Eve game soon? Get ready to play a completely different genre. Parasite Eve 2 is basically a survival horror game with barely any RPG elements. The battle system is more on the Resident Evil side of things. Movement is, tank controls. Oh yeah, Parasite Eve 2 has tank controls like the first Resident Evil games. But I guess if you like the Resident Evil games, you're probably gonna like the game, you know. Silent Hill Eve? Yeah, well, Silent Hill is very horror oriented. Were you able to play Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers without any issues? I did, because I played it when I played it originally and I noticed the frame rate issues and the bugs, but then like sometime later, I think it was like a year later or less than a year, Square Enix patched the game and now it's fully playable, so I don't know why it kept crashing on you. I have no idea, maybe you had a bad copy, you know. But all the crashes, all the bugs, and all the frame rate issues were fixed, as far as I know. Maybe you have a bad copy, I have no idea, man. Sword of Hope is on the Nintendo Switch Online now. Switch 2 or Switch 1? Didn't they say that Fire Emblem Path of Radiance was gonna be on the Nintendo Switch 2 Online? Is it out yet? Does anybody here in the chat right now have a Switch 2? Anybody? No, nobody? No one. I'm not surprised. I know someone has it. So there's somebody's gotta be. No, there's not a rumor. It's a fact. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is confirmed. It's gonna be released on the GameCube emulator. Oh, so Disney fan, change your username, man. Your username offends me. So, do you have Switch Online? Switch 2 Online? And if you do, can you check if Path of Radiance is there? I don't think it's there yet. You have a Switchblade? Me too. How will you rate The Legend of Dragoon? So in the description of this video you're watching right now, there's a link to my blog, my website. It's called ericlandonblogspot.com. Go there and there's an RPG score section and you can see how I will rank not just The Legend of Dragoon, but over 500 RPGs. Check it out. Do you like Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops? I've never played it. Well, I'm pretty sure Path of Radiance hasn't been released. If it was, there will be a bunch of videos on already, or live streams of people playing it, you know. Path of Radiance is a big fucking deal. Not only because it's a Fire Emblem game, but specifically because it's a super expensive and rare game. It's a $200 game. You know, it's really expensive and rare. So the fact that it's gonna be released, it's still emulation. It's not a Switch 2 official release or remaster or anything. They're just gonna put in the emulator, GameCube emulator on Switch 2. But it's still a big deal, you know. More people will have access finally at long last to that game. So everything okay last week, Frank? I just took a break. That's where the Metal Gear meme comes from, Portable Ops. I've never seen the meme, or perhaps I have, you know, but not a fan of Metal Gear at all. I've seen the memes of Psycho Mantis. Those memes I've seen. Those memes. Where he mentions Suikoden, the memory card, something like that. But the Portable Ops meme I've never seen. So anyway, so apparently nobody has a Switch 2, except like 2 people in the chat. It's okay. I kind of knew that was gonna happen. This week I kept looking, but you have one? Do you have Switch 2 online? If you do, can you check if Path of Radiance is there? What are the games right now you do? Okay, so can you do me a favor? I couldn't find any info online though, and no release date yet. And there are no videos on YouTube. So I'm almost 100% sure Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is not on the GameCube on Switch 2 online right now. The last game they added was Mario Strikers. Yeah, I saw that. That was like 3 days ago, July 3, right? So yeah, so Path of Radiance is a big deal. I'm pretty sure it hasn't been released yet. It's just last week I saw that the game was going to be released on July 4th, the 4th of July, but apparently it was like a... And, you know, I fell for it, you know. We live in the era of misinformation. If PS5 is digital only, will you consider buying one? No. Why buy a Switch 2 when there's a Steam Deck or any of those portable PCs? Well, I don't know. If Kung Fu Panda becomes woke, would it be called Kung Fu Panda? That's a good one. Oh, you got Radical Dreamers on Steam. Oh yeah, I've heard some bad things about it. I don't think Square Enix fixed that version. They fixed the console version, Switch, PlayStation 4. Those versions run perfectly fine. No crashes, no bugs, but the Steam version, yeah, that was like garbage, right? Anyway, sorry to hear about your experience, man, but you should file a complaint to Square Enix. I mean, if your game crashes, I mean, you should ask for a refund, right? Maybe. Do you plan to play Raidu Remaster? At some point, yeah. Like, I'm not in any hurry, you know, I'm playing some good games right now. At some point, I'm gonna have to play it, you know. Path of Radiance is not on the Switch 2. I knew it. So we're gonna have to keep waiting for it. I mean, you guys, all I want is to do a review of it. I don't know that much about Steam, to be honest. I've only played like 3 games on Steam in my whole life. I have it installed in my computer. I can play right now, you know. I can play anything right now on Steam. Well, not something like really advanced. Anything modern. I can't play Stellar Blade. It does not run in my computer. Fucking Trinity Trigger was lagging, you know. Trinity Trigger on the Switch emulator. It was lagging in this laptop. It makes you think I'm gonna be able to play modern games on Steam. No fucking way. Xenoblade Chronicles X, same. I only put like 2 hours into it, you know. Because I was gonna do the ranking video, the worst to best, which was a failure. Because of course the #1 game is a game no one played. Sometimes, like I know a lot of YouTubers are dishonest just for the sake of views. They're like, okay, my favorite game in this series is this one, but if I put it on number 1, the video is gonna fail and people are gonna be like assholes, and they are. Modern audiences are assholes. You know, if you don't put the favorite fucking game, the consensus say so, on the first place, oh no, your video is doomed. So I chose honesty. What can I say? I chose honesty, and my video failed thanks to my being honest, because YouTube and modern audiences don't like honesty nowadays. No, I didn't buy the Switch 2. If you're asking me about did I buy the Switch 2, I didn't. I didn't. Since the song is playing right now, who is your favorite Queen's Blade character? The girl's sister, what's her name? Altia. You fight her again, but she's so hot. And she's fucking crazy. She's demented. What about regular fans who don't disagree with you? Well, thankfully those are the fans who watch the video and appreciate it and are here, most of them right now in the Q&A. Those fans, Asia, are the reason why I'm still a YouTuber and making videos. And why I'm still very passionate about what I do. And very proud to be honest and give you honest content, you know. Thank you guys. Really appreciate that there's a lot of you out there who appreciate my honesty, my bluntness, my brutality, my political incorrectness. It's thanks to you that I'm still here, and I'm not being sarcastic. I think a lot of YouTubers receive money from game companies to say good things about their games. That's true, Roberto, and they tried it with me. You know, I'm not gonna mention which companies, but this year I remember 2 companies reached out to me and they said there was like in the contract, I didn't sign anything, but in the contract was like, you can't say anything bad about this, you can't say anything bad about the developers, you can't criticize the developers or the publisher. And I was like, fuck you then, I'm not signing your contract, you know, I'm just... Those YouTubers are just in it for their free demos and ego trip. Unfortunately, you know, but nothing's changed. If you think this is something new, this is the history of humanity. People don't like honesty. Never have, never will. They always prefer lies and trends, you know, and whatever's fashionable, stuff like that, you know. So it's the history of the world. Will you still buy a Switch 2 for the sake of what? Sake of what? Of the channel? Nah. Dude, if it wasn't for Alex Tokash, if you're watching, Alex, thanks again. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have a PS5. I still wouldn't have a PS5. Like, I don't really care about modern gaming anymore, modern consoles and games, you know me, so no. I'll probably never have a Switch 2. And please, never donate for a Switch 2. I don't want one. PS5, I was like, okay, there are some games that I want. I could record gameplay footage in 1080p, 60 frames per second, you know. I use the PS5 more as a tool for my job than for fun, you know. But I kind of wanted a PS5. A Switch 2, I do not want a Switch 2. I couldn't give 2 fucks about it. Any opinions on Room Factory Guardians of Azuma? I'm not really a fan of Room Factory though. Honesty hurts while beautiful lies don't. That's true. I mean, there's a lot of people who appreciate honesty, you know, but more people nowadays don't. It's more like they don't care if you're being honest or not. It's more about staying the hell away as much as you can from mentioning anything controversial, and or chasing the controversies. That's what most people care about. And since I don't belong in either spectrum, you know, I am where I am. Where am I? I said trends. Where am I from? I'm from Mexico. It's been 46 minutes and I don't have a single super chat. I guess I'm gonna have to keep taking breaks. I don't know. Maybe breaks will be more often. Pay the man. That's right. Otherwise, the man will come around. I love. That's a great fucking song by. Rest in peace, Johnny Cash. Thanks, Mystery Kid. When the man comes around. It's an overused song. This is a song that they've used in like a million movies. Fund Eric for Switch 2 Pro. No, fund me for paying my bills and eating, buying food. Pretty much a lot of people are grifters these days. Yeah, they are. Grifting has become so popular. Clickbait as well. You know, I'm not part of that, you know. Like, I'm on the same side of some of those grifters, you know. I agree with their points of views, but me, I'm like this. This is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm not passionate about chasing trends. I'm not passionate about politics, you know. Well, I may be passionate about politics because I hate them and censorship, but positively speaking, what I want to do with my YouTube channel is review games, is just play games and talk about them. That's what, you know, lights my fire. But grifting, I could do that. You know, I've grifted before. I have made a few videos throughout my career, you know, but 98% of my content is just top 10s and reviews and documentaries and, you know, JRPG related stuff. And so that's what I'm into, right? So, will you wait for the Switch 2 emulator? Probably. Right now, I have a lot of a big backlog when it comes to video games, you know. So, do you kind of view having to play modern games as mostly work, and then the other stuff is where you actually relax and enjoy gaming? Frank, weren't you listening? I can't play modern games anymore. Maybe just 1 out of 100. What is the best East game to play after East Nordics? 9, 8, 7. Those are the best 4. Celzeta. I've been playing Berwick Saga and Luminous Arc 2. Food is overrated? No, it isn't. You fucking need it, man. You can't live without food. How is it overrated? You have unfollowed a few big grifters? Okay. You agree with some of them, but it gets old after a while? Yeah. Well, like, on one hand, I have a lot of respect for them because they keep the fight alive. They fight for what they believe in, you know? Especially the ones that are on our side, on the gamers' side, you know? But they keep, like, they keep chasing the trends, which is what they do, you know? I feel like if they all of a sudden started doing some kind of other content, they will probably fail. People are so used to... This is something that's been going on for years. People are so used to conceptualizing channels, you know? If anybody does anything different, like I've done it, you know? I try different things on my channel, and videos that I've done in the past with different topics and content have failed miserably. So it's like I gotta stick to RPG content here in this channel, you know? I can't do anything else. Imagine if I put out a music video, a video about music, bands, or movies, you know, or other genres. I've done videos on other genres, done videos on hidden gems that are not RPGs, you know, and they failed. So those grifters right now are like the same, you know. They gotta stick to grifting, because if they start doing something else, people will probably not support them or watch them anymore. So I get it, you know. But yeah, when it comes to it gets old after a while, yeah, because they keep saying the same and the same. But they keep the ones that I respect. You know, they keep the fight alive. Kudos to them because they can get away with it. They can make content about that, and some of their videos get a lot of views. Whereas if I do it, I fail miserably because of the shadow ban. But I'd like to think that some of these grifters, you know, speak for people like you and me. But when they grift, all they do is grifting, that's when it's like very gray. Like you don't know anymore if it's for a good cause or if they're doing it for the views, or we don't know, right? That's when it starts getting more gray. Sorry, thank you, Testy, for the $10 donation. Take my money. You'll just buy the Switch 2 anyways. Yeah, I needed those $10. That's exactly how much I needed, man. Now I can buy it right now on Amazon. I haven't never played Ring of Red for PlayStation 2. You liked it better than Vanguard Bandits, even if it's slow paced. Isn't Ring of Red like a Western strategy RPG? I have never played it, but I've heard really good things about it. Maybe it's one of those fucking games I keep forgetting, man. People have asked me about that game for years, and I've never played it, or not even live. Maybe I should play it live. I'll play it live maybe next week. Thanks for reminding me about it. And thanks for the super chat again. No multimedia, or obviously far left. Really? Do you think any far left YouTuber is gonna have me on their channel? What? Far right? I don't know. I don't think so. No, I've become a ghost on YouTube, an outcast, sadly, and it's mostly because I don't have any social media. I still have an email, but apparently they don't care for that. They're maybe too lazy to write me an email and invite me, or maybe they think I'm too much of an asshole or a rude guy, that I have an attitude, you know, and maybe they think it's gonna be bad for them if they have me on their channel. Like, I don't know, man, but no one's asked me to collaborate with them, you know. I reached out to some of them some time ago, but they never replied. Probably because they don't check messages on the place where I reached out to them. Like, I don't know. No one's reached out to me, man. Have you tried to make a top 10 about characters on a game? No, but I did a tier list on Chrono Cross characters. That's the only one that I done, you know. I did my tier list of Chrono Cross characters. I also did some, like, the worst protagonists in JRPGs, but I've done top 10s on characters. Barely any, there's just like 3 or 4 in my whole life. But they're about JRPGs in general, not about just one game, you know? Have you ever played Threads of Fate? And if so, did you like it? No, I didn't like it. I wanted to like it, but I didn't like it. I like the characters though, I like the girl. But most of the time, Mystery Kid. From both sides, right? There's one side saying, oh, those guys are grifters, to discredit them. And the other side does the same thing. The government has everybody at each other's throats. They have us right where they want it. For the past 5 years or so. I don't know who Synthetic Man is, but if he fights censorship, he's already on my good book. Anybody who fights censorship is on my side. Problem is, there's a huge lack of unity amongst them. If only we will come together, you know. That's the evil algorithm, Frank. It's been doing that for a while. Most likely since the shadow ban. See, there's a lot of evidence, you know, there's a lot of proof that YouTube fucking hates me, man. A lot of people don't believe me, but that's thank you, Hooflong. Yeah, I knew that. I knew about PlayAsia publishing Fuga Melodies of Steel 1 through 3 physical on Switch. That's great news. I haven't played the third one, but you know, I'm a big fan of the first two. How about the top 10 video on the most expensive, rare, obscure, hidden... I have done videos about that, and people have lost interest in me making those types of videos. Possibly because there's not a lot of interest in video game collecting nowadays. At least, you know, I don't have a big audience on that topic anymore. And also maybe because I did so many videos on rare and obscure. I have one planned though, but I want to do it because I want to. Not because of the views, but we'll see. What do you think about the Wii U? I haven't had a lot of interaction with it, to be honest, to have to formulate a strong opinion about it. I think it's a decent console. It's one of Nintendo's worst consoles though, but it's got some good games. You know, I think the 64 is worse. Grab your pitchforks, guys. I think the Wii U is a good console. It's just not a great console. It didn't achieve what it wanted to achieve. But I can't, like, I don't have a strong opinion about it. I don't have a Wii U. I've never owned one, and I've only played some games at friends' houses, you know. So I don't know. Who knows his stuff about video games? Synthetic Man? He's a white nationalist. Oh my god. How do you feel about pervert characters in JRPGs? I'm okay with them. They're most of them are really fucking funny. But there's been some that are like annoying. But they usually are like antagonists that last for a few scenes and that's it. You defeat them and they never appear again. Or the usual character, kinda NPC-ish, that doesn't talk. I mean, that doesn't join the party or anything, you know, so... There's been some annoying ones, but most of the pervert characters are funny as hell. But I have my... there's a lot of there's one that I fucking hate, is the cat guy in Endless Frontier 1 and 2. Like, I hate that guy. Microsoft laid off 9,000 employees last week. A lot of them from the Xbox gaming division. Will Xbox disappear? I don't think so. The reason why, I think there's several reasons why there's been a lot of layoffs in the past few years. It's not just one. Of course, people love to blame everything on Trump's tariffs, you know? Of course, the media is controlled by one side and that side is gonna trash. But I think there's many reasons, you know, social division, the culture war, censorship and stuff like that. But I think a big reason was because we're still, I know it feels like it was like 10 years ago, but we're still suffering the after effects of the pandemic. It really did a big number on the economy worldwide, the pandemic, you know? So during the pandemic, a lot of people started making a lot of money, but a lot of people went down badly, a lot of companies, you know, and corporations. So that created this huge lack of balance in the economy, and we're still going through that, you know. And even the richest fucking companies like Microsoft, you know, it's no different, to be honest. It's no different, you know. It's like, so we tried for the past, the pandemic, it ended what, like 3 years ago, right? More or less 3 years ago. But maybe companies tried their best to stay afloat, and they couldn't unless they fire people. Another big reason is AI. AI is starting to get a lot of jobs and people are getting fired because of that. So a company like Microsoft is like, I'm losing money because of whatever reason, because politics, because left wing, far right wing, whatever. You know, I'm losing money. So what do? Fire people. And their jobs are going to be done by other people. So these other people are going to have a shit ton of work now. But also a lot of these jobs are going to be handed to AI. That's another big reason why there's been a lot of layoffs everywhere, not just in the video game industry, you know. Like my friend's wife was fired from her job, and her job is like, she worked for Herbalife. I don't know if Herbalife is an international company though. It's a company here in Mexico. So she worked for Herbalife and she got fired. She got laid off among other employees, you know, of her company, and she didn't receive an explanation. Of course, nobody told her, hey, it's because of this and that. No, it's like, we can't pay you anymore. Bye. You know. So it's not just the video game industry. It's a lot of people. Microsoft supposedly invested $80 billion on AI. So there you go. You know, it's just AI. AI is a big deal. It's a big deal. It's happening, people. It's happening. We are no longer foreseeing a dystopia. We are already at the beginning of a dystopia where AI is getting a human job. And people are millions of people, maybe not millions, but hundreds of thousands of people in the world are getting fired because of it. Because corporations would rather save money and invest on AI rather than pay a human being. That's how soulless and evil corporations have become. We are in that dystopia already. It's no longer a sci-fi movie or book, you know, we are living it. And meanwhile, people are hating and killing each other and burning cars and doing protesting and stuff like that. And yeah, hating and divide and conquer. That's the government and that's corporations. Divide and conquer. People divided will never unite against us. So we can just continue doing that, you know. Those evil practices. Nintendo is a big fucking controversy as well, right? I mean, come on. And the more they politicize their games, the better for them, you know, because that keeps people divided and angry. Anyway, Tales of Legendia crashes all the time on PS3. You mean the physical copy of it? At this point, I think it's just better if you emulate PS2 games. But if you can't or don't want to, then I guess you're stuck. Yeah, I didn't know Legenda crashed on PS3. I don't have the PlayStation 3 that's compatible with PS2 games. I have the regular one. Super slim, actually. Zero Cool, you did videos about how YouTube destroyed your own channel. They have what? I'm gonna go to your channel right now. YouTube destroy your channel? You have 96 subscribers and 1,500 videos? The last several videos you did were long plays of Final Fantasy XII and Tales of Exilia. You know? I don't know, man. Was it because of your Bikini Warriors review? Or your Pipkin Pipa is not political? Whatever the hell that is. Anyway. Well, that sucks, buddy. But it seems to me that you uploaded a crap ton of long play videos. I'm not sure if that's got something to do with it. I don't know. Are there any video game YouTubers that you still like who are honest but don't push agendas? Cinemassacre. Like, sure, James Rolfe has never been honest or dishonest. He just hasn't talked about it. About, the people he used to work with, his crew, stuff like that. The Cinemassacre truth bullshit, But I think he's still honest on how he feels about the games he talks about. Same with Mike Matei, I mean, those guys are the founding fathers of gaming channels on YouTube. And I'm glad they're, like, still honest and legit. I mean, you asked me about being honest, okay? There's a lot of bad things to say about them too, I know that. But, yeah. Like, both, like, James and Mike very rarely and occasionally do cover the modern game that's full of bullshit, And I don't like that, but the large majority of their content is still, like, retro, So, that's it, man. Honestly, those are the only gaming channels that I watch nowadays. Oh, GameSack. I still watch GameSack. Same. I still feel like Joe is very honest with the games he plays. He gives you an honest opinion, but he doesn't bring up anything out when it comes to censorship and stuff. He's made videos about that, but nothing political, So he stays on how do you say that in English? He stays in line, I believe. No, you know what I mean. He doesn't get involved with modern censorship, A lot of people don't because they're scared. Though Joe did do was like a Chibi Robo on the GameCube skit at the end of one of his recent videos, which was like, yeah, let's kill all the communist bastards. It was a really funny skit and joke. Look, sometimes he crosses the line a little bit. Same with Mike and James, but you don't see them out there, fighting in the culture war, if that's what you were trying to ask. But yeah, those are the only YouTube channels gaming channels that I watch. Everything else, nowadays I feel like I use YouTube only to watch shows, old shows of bands that I liked, or documentaries on old movies, stuff like that. Like, I started seeing James and Mike Mondays again. Haven't seen the show in a long time. Fucking hell, I missed a lot of your questions. Sorry, guys. If I missed a question, let me know again. But I'll get to it. If your question comes with a super chat, I'll read it right away. Are there any JRPGs are crap but still enjoy due to nostalgia and sentimentality? Mimana ER Chronicle. And I was thinking some time ago about that, but I couldn't come up with like a bunch of JRPGs. There's just a few. Like the ones like I love a lot of JRPGs that people think are bad, like Valkyria Revolution or Tales of Symphonia 2, and I love them, and I'm like, I don't recognize they are crap. They are not crap. Mimana ER Chronicle, I do recognize is kinda crap, so that's my answer to you. Would you buy a JRPG designed or created by AI? No. Do you think we will have AI tubers in the future? Aren't there a lot of already? Like, they're called faceless channels, man. There are AI channels already. Retro games are making a comeback. Yeah. Great song right now. Do you ever let the AI, not that AI, control your party in games that have that feature? It's like the auto battle in Fire Emblem. No, unless I'm grinding. One person's truth is another one's lie. A great definition of today's world and society, Jonathan. Joe's brutally honest? I don't think so. He's honest, but I wouldn't say brutally. I think we're also headed towards a recession. Yeah, another reason why there are a lot of layoffs is because of the wars. And because of inflation and recession, you know. Many things, you know, are reasons why there's been a lot of layoffs in companies and corporations, you know. Thank you, Brian, for becoming a member. It counts, you know. I mean, you're American, right? Yeah, YouTube discriminates people here. If you are from a third world country, no, it kind of doesn't count becoming a member. Because they charge you on your currency. And it's like, if your currency is like 20 Argentinian pesos, that's like 1 cent, 1 Mexican cent. Yeah. Love you, YouTube. But yeah, it counts, man, and thanks for the donation. Your least favorite JRPG trope? Story-wise, like, I don't like forced stereotypes in JRPGs. Like lolly, I've been bitching about lollies and kid characters. There are some kid characters that I like, you know, but most of them are like kind of annoying, and I'm like, get this kid out of my party. And as soon as I have a full party or an extra party member, you know, I take the kid character out of my party. Like, I don't care for kids, you know, in video games. And when it comes to gameplay mechanics, I fucking hate recyclable bosses. I just hate fighting the same boss again and again. Let me fight the boss once, maybe twice, and that's it. There's really no need for me to fight the same boss 5 fucking times. Like Jeanne d'Arc, for example. You fight that fucking guy with the goatee, that knight guy, like 7 times, man. God, what? I don't like that. Yeah. As you can see, I'm passionate about that. Yeah, recycled bosses, man. Oh my god. Like, once or twice is fine. But more than 2 times is like, no. No. What is your favorite video game soundtrack of all time? Chrono Cross. I have Asia. Pedro Pascal, yeah. Everybody has an evil twin out there. That's my answer. Everybody has an evil twin out there. I'm not... Oh man, I'm not an exception. Apparently. What is the name of the music playing in the back? Right now it's Tales of Exilia, but if you mean the previous song, wasn't it Shin Megami Tensei 4? Did something play in the middle and I missed it? Sorry. Did you hear about the creator of the Blaze Blue? Mori Toshimichi founded his own studio, now Studio Flare, and they have some concept. The studio has concept art for their upcoming ideas. No, I didn't know that. I wonder why he left the comp. I'm not surprised he left Arc System Works, though, but I hope it's for the best. If the creator of Blaze Blue left the studio, I hope it's for the best. I don't have an opinion on that, Roberto. I really don't care. I have a light here in my keyboard for this laptop. I think I've used it once. Like, I don't really care about that. I mean, to each their own, you know. If people want to decorate their gaming accessories and computers and console, that's great, you know. I'm not into that. Did you play Last Ranker on PSP? Yes, I did. And it isn't fully fan translated, so I only played it for like an hour and a half and I couldn't advance because I didn't know what to do or where to go, because the rest, big chunks of the game are still in Japanese and important dialogue is still in Japanese, so it's basically unplayable, Last Ranker. Maybe you can play it with a guide, but you will have to be playing with a guide almost the entire game. So I'm not sure. It is kind of playable, but it's also kind of unplayable. I hope the translation gets completed one day because it seems like a very interesting game. Last Ranker. What video game character do you think you are most like? None. I'm a 39-year-old man. I don't relate to video game characters anymore. Do you prefer the harder games? I like all of them, you know. I like easy games, hard games, balanced games. What can I say? I don't have a preference, you know. Probably Brian. Oh, he left Arc System Works and it didn't sound pretty? Okay. Who's your all-time favorite video game creator? He died last year. Yoshitaka Murayama. And it broke my heart. Imagine dying before... I mean, he worked for 5 years to revive Suikoden. And then the game's ready to launch. And a month before that happens, he dies. That's just fucking horrible, man. But at least he didn't live to see his game story ruined by 505 games. Have you ever played the Super Famicom Dragon Ball Z RPGs? Yeah, not... I mean, I can't understand anything or where to go, you know, but yeah. Isn't one of them fan translated, though? I remember playing a Dragon Ball Z RPG on the NES and also another one on the SNES. Yeah, they seem interesting, you know. I'm sore that we never got them. Do you play any musical instruments? I play the guitar and the keyboard, but I only have a guitar right now. Electric guitar. I also have an acoustic guitar, but I haven't touched it in years. I play electric guitar every day, every night, for maybe just a few songs, you know. I'm mediocre at best. I'm not really a good player. 39 and we're still rocking? Yeah, that's right. Do you consider the Super Smash franchise as fighting games? Yes. Who doesn't consider Super Smash Bros. As fighting games? What, are you gonna tell me they're driving games? Racing games? Shoot 'em ups? RPGs? Who? What a strange question, man. Do you consider Street Fighter a fighting franchise? Let me think. Yes, I thought about it and yes. If I were to liken you to a video game character, you'd probably be Agate from Trails. Do you guys think I'm that edgy? I'm not like that in real life, you know. When you play Deftones on your guitar, do you change the tuning or play it on standard? I play everything on D standard. A lot of Deftones sound like I can't make them sound great. If I play Be Quiet and Drive on my guitar, it sounds like shit. I need to tune it one half a step down, right? For Be Quiet and Drive. Because Stephen Carpenter plays a lot in drop D or drop C, you know. And no, I'm just too lazy to change tunings again for every fucking song. So I play everything on D standard. If it sounds great, then I play it often. If it doesn't, fuck it. Thankfully, a lot of Deftones songs sound great on D standard, so... Oh, I'm brutally honest, not really taken to subtlety, eternally reliable. I'm glad you see me that way, Brian. Appreciate that. Is military service compulsory in Mexico? No. I think it was when I was like in the 80s, you know, but not anymore. Do you read video game novels? No, last one I tried reading was the Lacrimosa of Dana novel. It's a good novel, you know, but it was written from a kind of feminist point of view, and also it just retells the same events as in the game, so I'd rather just play the game, you know. I would read the spin-off or some kind of prequel or, you know, something different, right? I mean, the book is good, but just wasn't my cup of tea at the end. It isn't that lame, Cross. There's nothing political. It's not like the author, she's from Poland or Netherlands, I'm not sure. And it's official, Falcom read the book and was okay with it, you know? So, there's nothing politicized in the book, you know? Yeah, but Agate seems like the guy who doesn't make a lot of bad decisions, and I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life. And come on, like physically speaking, like the guy is like tall, you know, and look at me. I work out. It runs in the family. I will have to work out a hell of a lot to develop some real muscle, you know. But it runs in the family. My brother, my father, from my father's side, you know, everybody's kind of like thin. Have you ever thought about writing scripts for video games? Dude! It's my only dream that I haven't achieved. I would love to write the script for a JRPG, man. And I've been involved in video game projects, but they went to hell. Dude, I've been saying this for many years. I would love to write a JRPG script. An RPG, you know. I can't do my own RPG because I suck at everything else. I have no patience for programming, 3D modeling, you know, and I'm a terrible leader. And I can't put the project together like, I'm gonna do it together, I'm gonna hire people and Kickstarter, you know. I'm just not a good boss. You know, I'd rather just write the story and see the developers do their magic with it, you know, without censorship. But yeah, I would love to, man. It's been my dream. Like writing books and publishing them, I already achieved that dream. I wasn't like super successful, but it happened. I became a successful video game reviewer, YouTuber, you know. Failed at music, that's too bad. Failed at movies and short films, but I kind of failed on purpose. I did a couple of short films and I was like, you know, there's just a lot to this that I'm too lazy to learn, so fuck it. I love movies and I really enjoy doing my short films, and sometimes I think about it like, maybe I should do another short film, but then all the process is like, no, pain in the ass, no thanks. So yeah, I only have one dream left unachieved, and that is to write the story of an RPG. Hopefully one day. Hire me! I'm for hire. Yeah, I know most people are gonna be like, oh yeah, we'd love to hire you, but you're gonna drop a lot of F-bombs and insult politics and politicians and attack the system in your story, aren't you? Yes. There are a lot of hardcore Nintendo haters that always come with Smash is not a fighting game. Did you meet with your followers a lot? Or do you like it or prefer it to be private? You mean in real life? No. I'm in Mexico. I live in Mexico. Most of my followers are from all over the world, especially US, Canada, Brazil, you know, so no. But meeting them like I'm doing right now, that answers your question, right? That's thank you, Zero Cool. That's also how a lot of people see me. Most of my fans, the ones who bother sticking around. Brian, did you know that Tita's mom is not entirely sadistic? It's just Miss America made her a bit more sadistic, but she's not really like that. A lot of characters in Trails got their personalities a little bit changed because of Miss America, sadly. Yeah, making a video game is really hard. What will be your script kind of like? Oh, come on, man. Have you read my books? Read my books and you'll get an idea of what my script will be like. It will be edgy, you know, it will be mature, dark. It will be like Redemption Reapers meets Chrono Cross meets Suikoden. Something like that. Meets Code Vein. Meets Xenogears. That. Great answer, huh? Hey, it's a good answer. You're from the Bahamas? You're what? I've never met anybody from the Bahamas. Usually, most of my viewers are from a country like the usual countries, you know, but Bahamas, that's great. Where do you get your video game merchandise from? Especially the t-shirts. Just stores out there online. I have a Suikoden t-shirt that I bought from AliExpress, the AliExpress website. I don't know if that's a website in your country. It is in mine, AliExpress. It's basically a Chinese, you know. I got others in other websites, you know. Yeah. Different places, you know. Nothing really interesting. Like, I found this t-shirt in this really awesome place and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Unfortunately not. The hell is this? Princess Minerva? Yeah, but I mean, I like RPG Maker, but that's not what I'm looking for. If I'm ever going to do my own video game, you know, and write a script for a video game, I don't want it to be an RPG Maker game. Didn't you play that on stream at some point? Princess Minerva, last year. I played a big chunk of it. Like 40 minutes, probably more. And then I covered the game. Did a video called Top 10 Fan Translated Hidden Gems. Princess Minerva was there. That video was like 2 weeks ago. Before the Top 30 Switch Hidden Gems video. Do you only wear black shirts? That's right, always dress in black. Are you gonna play Light Fairy Tail Volume 3 when it comes out? No, I didn't like the practices of that guy. Like selling you every volume like at $5 or $10 each, that's fucking bullshit, you know? I'm gonna wait until he releases the whole game, all volumes, and it's like $5. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not paying... I fucking hate that, man. Give me the full fucking game, man. I'm not paying for one chapter. That's just fucking bullshit. I'm some kind of a gothic edgelord. Well, sometimes I rant. Politics and censorship are not the only reason why I don't play modern games anymore, you know? There's a million reasons, that's one of them, you know? These business practices that I just don't like. Selling you incomplete games, full of bugs and glitches at launch, you know, it's just, no. Let's just stick to retro, man. If you guys wanna continue playing modern games, cool, more power to you, you know, but I'm done. I am done. Oof, fuck is this? Oh, of course. Why didn't I recognize this? Takahiro Nisuga. Listen to this. It's fucking fantastic. Say goodbye to the elf girl. Say goodbye. She's leaving. She's leaving. If you could improve or even rewrite a strategy guide, which one would it be and why? Oh my god, the one that I'm reading right now, Berwick Saga. Here's a perfect example of what's wrong with the guide. Sometimes the guy who wrote the guide, he says a specific character will appear on the northwest side of the map. That's great. And I'm gonna have to talk to this character, I'm gonna have to talk to this guy with this specific character, right? So, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put that character here at the beginning of the map and wait, you know? But sometimes he's like, at turn 18, this recruitable character will appear. I'm like, where? And then the character finally appears, like here in this side of the map. And the character that's supposed to talk to this guy to recruit him, I have it all the way here. That's what I will fucking do that, man. I will correct those things, you know. Some of the guides are really useful, and I'm thankful for them, and I'm not cheating on the guy who wrote the guide. Thank you for writing the guide. But it could use some improvement, you know. Like, come on, man. Tell me specifically where the character I'm supposed to recruit is going to appear, so I can plan a better strategy, you know. I missed one character already in Berwick Saga. I missed one. Because my character that was supposed to recruit, I mean, the recruit, come on. He was all the way here, and the guy appeared here and ran away after like 3 turns, and I couldn't reach the guy, and I didn't recruit him. And I was like, yeah, well, Berwick Saga, I have OCD when it comes to recruiting characters, like in Fire Emblem, Suikoden, you know, I have OCD. But in a game like Berwick Saga, it's impossible to get all of the characters in one playthrough. Impossible, because it's such a hard game, and there's too many, you know? So I don't mind. Maybe on my next playthrough I'll get this guy, you know, but I don't really care. I was like, fuck it, you know, I'm not gonna restart the whole map, because maps in this game take like 1 hour long, or sometimes more, you know. I'm not gonna restart the whole map just to recruit this guy. And the guy looked like, this character looks like I'm not gonna use him, so fuck that. So, that's my answer. Like, rewrite a whole guide? I wouldn't do that. But improve some of the guides out there? Yes. You would like to have my autograph on your copy of Chrono Cross? I did that with a fan, Einashi. He's been a huge fan and supporter of the channel for like 7 years. And I sent him a signed copy of Chrono Cross. You want to have an Eric Landon t-shirt? I could do that with just the logo, you know. I don't have an official logo that's fancy. You know, I only have the one you see with the letters, the steampunk kind of, you know, logo. Eric Landon RPG. Sure. I have to figure out this merch situation. It's been a problem for years. It's been a fan request for years. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people who will be interested in buying Eric Landon RPG official merchandise. I'll make it happen. Give me some time. I could use the money. You know, so selling merchandise. There are companies, you know, it's just, this is setting up my own merchandise is kind of algebra to me. There are companies, you know, they occasionally reach out for that, but they get a cut, and I don't know how much money I'm gonna get, so let me figure it out. Patreon has an option to do your own merchandise. I don't know if they print and send t-shirts to fans, though. Let me look into that. That will be an interesting thing to do on Patreon. Because the good thing about doing it on Patreon is that you don't have to be a patron to buy stuff from there. If you just want to go there and buy an Eric Landon RPG t-shirt, Eric Landon, how do you pronounce my last name? Landon? Eric Landon RPG t-shirt? You can buy it without becoming a patron. You just buy it like as if it was Amazon, you know? You could do that. Patreon has that option, so I'm going to look into that and see what I can do. You're welcome, Dragon in Clouds. Have you considered doing YouTube Shorts? I have, but you need to have a lot of views to get them monetized. Yeah, oh yeah, YouTube Shorts is a different thing. Just because I have monetized my channel doesn't mean doesn't mean my shorts will be automatically monetized. YouTube Shorts is an entirely different thing. I have to set it up and ask for monetization, and there are some rules, like you need 1 million views total in a year between all of your shorts. It's a pain in the ass, and they pay you barely anything, man. Cents. You need to get a lot of views for you to make money out of shorts, so I don't see the point. Have you played an RPG for a 20-hour? No. Never done that. The most I've played was Final Fantasy XII for like 8 hours straight, uninterrupted. That was like many years ago. Characters from my books, Merc? That'll be a great idea. You want a t-shirt of Alice? Or Lauren Silverrain? Or Darius? Do you hang out in the Gothic Club? No, there are no Gothic clubs here in where I live. I mean, they're really, really, really far away. When I lived in England, I used to hang out a lot in Gothic clubs. But not, I mean, since I came back now, I didn't find any Gothic clubs or pubs in Canada. And I know some of them are here in my city, you know, but they're super far away. I've never been there. Vivi is one of the best JRPG characters of all time. He's a really interesting and well-written character, but I don't think he's one of the best written characters. What thing is basically fan service tailored for you? Like, maybe it makes no sense for a character to be a dragon, but it's okay because you love dragons? What a question. I've never thought about that. I don't even know how to answer that, you know. Like, I don't really care. I think I study more character personality than character race or type. I don't know. Oh, shorts improve your subscriptions and our algorithm. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Did you finish Queen's Blade? No, I didn't. I was like, no. I fucked up, so I'm gonna have to restart the whole game. I missed one character that apparently is very important. I mean, that game... It should have been in the video that I did called Top 10 Great JRPGs with a Fatal Flaw. The Day Tengai Makyu Manu what? Okay. Best monk type of character in a Final Fantasy game? Final Fantasy? There is a monk in Final Fantasy VI. Forget his name though. There's also one in Final Fantasy IV. But in 7... Tifa? Is Tifa considered a monk? Yang in Final Fantasy IV. Yeah, that guy. Sabin or Sabin. How do you pronounce Sabin? That guy. Tifa is a brawler, not a monk. Oh, sorry. What game series do you think will fit another genre better than its own? I don't think there's any, because there's every single video game franchise is designed and planned and thought out as what it is, right? From scratch. Because I feel like there are some movies that would have been better as shows, and also vice versa. You know, books that will be better as scripts for a video game. I don't know, like that's a good example. I always felt that Seven Shadows will be a much better as script for an anime or something. It doesn't really work that well for a novel. But like a video game, like all these fighting game series should have been an RPG series. No. I've never done a Shining Force 3 playthrough. That's in the backlog. There is any game you wait most? What? I don't understand the question. I never finished Evolution. I played the GameCube version, which is the one that has both games, just butchered. Any Evolution fan will probably tell you to play the Dreamcast versions that you just got. Yeah, they're good, you know. I'm not a big fan. I never finished them, but they're good games. Would you like to see Seven Shadows in video game form in the style of Drakengard 3? No, I don't know. Probably, yeah, I mean... Sure. I think Seven Shadows should be an anime. Or a manga, you know. But anyway, were you ever big on Power Stone? The fighting games? Aren't there 2 fighting games called Power Stone? Have you played Maken X on Dreamcast? No, I've never heard about it. Is there a game you'd like to be remastered? Tons of them. Oh, okay, so Power Stone. Yeah, no, not a fan. I mean, I kind of like the first one, you know? But in the end, I just couldn't get into any either. I played it on PSP though. Played both of them on the PSP collection that has both. That's the version that I played of Power Stone 1 and 2. And yeah, great fighting games, you know, but not my cup of tea. More of a 2D fighter. What's the name of what? Oh, there was an anime based on Power Stone? Didn't know that. This music reminds you of Final Fantasy. That's probably Final Fantasy 12 and Tactics because we got the same composer. This is from Hitoshi Sakimoto. Hitoshi Sakimoto. Same composer as those games, and Odin's Vanillaware game, most of the Vanillaware games. Valkyria Chronicles. My day's been going well, Apis, thanks. I hope your day has been going well. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I do want to get married. Any Mystic Quest music on the playthrough or copyright? Oh, right now on the live stream? No, it doesn't have any copyright. But I didn't add any Mystic Quest songs. Yeah, this game has good music. This is a good game that I reviewed recently. I've covered it twice. Fan-translated JRPG Hidden Gems. Top 10 that came out a couple of weeks ago. And a long video from like 4 months ago called 5 Great JRPGs Nobody Played. Part 4. It's called Ash, Archaic Sealed Heat, as you can see below me. Bravo. Enlarge. If you're watching me on your phone, enlarge, so you can see the name of the game. It shows right here, right now, below me. Marriage is a hindrance in finishing JRPGs? Probably. Yeah. But I do want to get married. As soon as possible. The song is like 10 minutes long. I think it's looping. It's been 5 minutes. It's been 6 minutes. It's a 10-minute long song. Bullneku's battle theme says. It doesn't. I mean, it plays a lot throughout the game. It's one of the map themes. I don't know why they call it Bullneku's battle theme though. It's just a map theme out of 4 or 5. No children. Yeah, Hitoshi Sakimoto. I mean, you know. When you listen to Hitoshi Sakimoto or... What's the other guy's name? Masahiro Iwata? I think it's Masahiro Iwata. When you listen to anything from those guys, you recognize it immediately. I mean, there are some songs that don't really sound like them, but most of the songs are like, oh, that's Sakimoto. You know? Ogre Battle map theme. Oh yeah, wait, was Ogre Battle done by Sakimoto? I know Tactics Ogre was. Ogre Battle probably was composed by Sakimoto, right? Probably, right? Masahiro Iwata, yeah. Great, now the entire conversation has turned into marriage. That's why people join my live streams every Sunday, to talk about marriage and miscellaneous things like that. Any hint on what your next video is going to be about? Asks Morbid. It's gonna be a review. And you'll probably get it tomorrow, so stay tuned. Stay tuned, man. You know, the algorithm doesn't favor me anymore. Rarely sends out notifications. You need to stay tuned. How do you do that? Just check regularly. Go to my channel directly when you open the YouTube app. Or when you open YouTube, you know, just go to my channel and see if I have uploaded anything. Origin Cat says review about marriage. It's gonna be a review about marriage. Hey, Gaming Odyssey. Thank you, Ali. Ali, thanks. Your sister thinks I'm cute. Can I take her on a date? Sure, I can teleport to where you live right now and take her out on a date. Like, Goku is my uncle, man. He can show me how to teleport places and shit, you know? Top 10 married JRPG characters? Well, I could do that, you know, that would imply spoilers for some of the endings. But characters are already married in JRPGs, it's rare. There are some, especially in strategy RPGs. You are the only girlfriend who sometimes has to force your boyfriend to take his gaming time? Wow, you are the best girlfriend ever. Nothing beats sharing gaming as a passion. It's great. Congratulations. On what age will you stop hoping to get married? I don't know, I haven't thought about that. Never. Maybe I should stop hoping right now. So use the opposite, you know, reverse psychology. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. What era of video games do you miss the most? The 90s and early 2000s. Definitely, the one I grew up with. All the 90s and 2000s. I just don't want to sound like the, oh, I miss the golden age guy, you know, but that's the era I grew up in, you know, so 90s. I was born in 1985. The 80s, well, I was barely like 4 or 5 years old, you know, so don't remember much about it. I do remember a lot of things though, but not that much. And when it comes to gaming, I didn't really start getting into gaming until 1989, 1990. You know, so 90s is my era. In early 2000s, it was just great. You know, it was a great, as a gamer, it was a great time to be alive. There was no political bullshit and social division, you know, or DLCs or business practices, you know, or free-to-play gacha. You know, there was nothing of the sort. You got games, full games, and not like shitty remasters galore. Got a lot of creativity. Sanji, thank you for becoming a member of my YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'd say as soon as the PS3 era started, I love the PS3, don't take me wrong. I fucking love the PlayStation 3. But as soon as that started, I feel like gaming started going downhill, like really slowly though. And then it peaked a little bit, like 6-7 years ago. It kind of like tried to revive and come back, but then it died again after the pandemic. Yeah. Oh, definitely Lil Staccato. Definitely. Most of them want nothing to do with me. So Sanji gifted memberships to Beetlejuice, 12, Zach Wolf, Keenan Messina, Bebies, and 2H1. Lurkers. I've never seen any of those usernames say anything before. I still think there's a lot of passionate developers nowadays, but they walk on eggshells. Unfortunately, every single one of them, unfortunately. Some ugly hours portraits from old games. Especially Western. You're right. Last game you played with your friend Oscar from Discussion Gamer. We haven't seen each other in a while. I don't remember. Fuck YouTube. Well, there, Keenan said thanks. The music stopped. The music stopped. Oh, there we go. It was just waiting for me to click on it. Oscar is truly a very nice Latin sounding name. Okay. Finally a real human. Yeah, I don't doubt that sometimes AI bots get memberships. Well, this conversation is going to hell already. And it's been 2 hours, so I'm gonna leave it at that. That'll be it for today, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out. Had a good time as usual. Oh, Sanji gifted more memberships to Newcomb. And Newcomb got a membership. JP Farm. Hong Luong finally happened, man. You finally got a membership. Eka also got a membership. That's great. And more lurkers. I like my lurkers. You know, I like them. I don't need to see everybody saying something in the chat, you know, to appreciate, for me to appreciate them, you know. Thank you for lurking in Eric Landon RPG. Thank God the troll didn't get one. Frank didn't get one. Take care, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend. And see you next time. Stay tuned for more videos coming next week. Bye.